Welcome back to our current events panel. And joining us today are Hannah Salamon-Vegh and Brock Stephenson. Brock, let's hit this next issue. This caught my attention. So, the Queen Victoria statue in front of the Manitoba Legislature is being replaced. It was damaged already. We'll talk about that. But it's being replaced by what? By a bison. Can you please explain this, Brock? I truly.
So Manitoba, whose official animal is the bison, is adding a third bison statue to the legislature grounds in place of where the statue of Queen Victoria was. The Queen Victoria statue was destroyed and made unsalvageable a few years ago on Canada Day when disgruntled protesters vandalized it, as was the trend of throwing red paint on statues of Queen Victoria, Sir John A. Macdonald, disgracing our history and sort of pointing the finger at them for residential schools and other past crimes of our country's history. So the statue's gone. The Manitoba Museum is not going to display it yet. They'd have to consult with local Indigenous people, figure out a plan, sort of give some context to why they have a statue of Queen Victoria in Manitoba. So the legislature is adding a third statue to the grounds. The Manitoba Historical Society's wondering what's the point. They already have bison depicted on the sides of the stairs into the building. So Manitoba is sort of stepping away from its history, trying to move away from colonialism and the residential school legacy and put up another bison. I guess it's easier to put up than a statue of a curler.
Well, bisons aren't really controversial, at least not to our species, I suppose. Hannah, what do you make of this? Is this just another chapter in woke politics?
Yes, and it's another chapter in erasing Canadian history. If people want to learn from history, you still have to be able to know the history of your country. And I don't think toppling statues of Sir John A. Macdonald or Queen Victoria, that does not help any wrong, past historical wrongdoings that have been done. But also, if there's already one bison statue, which is, I think appropriate because that's their provincial animal, why do you need another one or a third one? Put the Queen Victoria statue back up, stop bowing to the woke mob. And I also didn't realize that in front of Queen's Park in Toronto, that the Sir John A. Macdonald statue has been boarded up for 3 years now. And it looks absolutely hideous with boxes all around it. And they don't know what to do with it. They don't know whether they should put it in a museum or they're just afraid it's going to cause more rioting and anger and vandalism if they open it up again. And I guess the more you bow to these the vandalists, the more it's going to happen. And it's just sad that when this is on, federal or provincial property, that people are not being charged for vandalism like this. This
Yes.
exception that you can vandalize this type of historical things, and then you get away with it.
Well, I agree. What message does this send to Canadians or even new Canadians who come here hoping to see respect of law? Then they
Mhm.
see something like this. Let's move on to a new issue, another potentially woke subject. The Canadian Navy is phasing out the song or the hymn they have called The Heart of Oak. Brock, why don't you start us off on this?
So the Canadian Navy, the Royal Canadian Navy, is getting rid of its marching song over diversity issues. The song is called Heart of Oak, and probably most sailors in our Navy don't know the lyrics. But one of the lines references working as hard as slaves, which I
Sorry, what is
guess
the line?
is
Repeat the line one more time.
the line is to honor we call you, not press you like slaves. And this has been branded as the Navy is colonialist and in favor of slavery, well, kind of a stretch. But the song lyrics are offensive and out of date with the times, just like how we don't sing the Maple Leaf Forever anymore because it's too British and too proud of Canadian history. So the Heart of Oak lyrics may be trashed. They may abandon the tune as well. And our Royal Canadian Navy's proud history will lose one more part of its legacy. But I think the challenge is canceling our history doesn't make our country stronger or more educated. And I think this is just another example that we can chalk up there with the Manitoba Bison.
Yeah, Hannah, what does this do for Navy morale?
Well, it's just confusing, and it seems like woke activists, they can go around everywhere and decide what they want torn down and what they want rewritten, and it will be immediately done without any thought or questioning or anything like that. Um, And also with the military, instead of increasing funding and boosting morale and stuff like that, they're putting tampons in the men's washrooms and getting rid of marching anthems and things like that. Same thing with the rewriting of the Canadian national anthem as well. And we've just seen with the last 10 years under Justin Trudeau that the woke mob is ruling, and I mean the government is woke. So I'm looking forward to hopefully Pierre winning and taking things back.
Okay, I will be back in just a few moments.